Hello. Hi, it's Jason Pegler here, and I'm here to talk to you again, everybody, about the creative writing and recovery seminar. And I just want to give you a bit more information on what it's about, why I'm doing it, who it can help, and how it can make a difference. So, it's for someone who has a mental illness who really likes the idea of writing, or they may have written several things before but they may not have finished them, or they may not have any idea how to put them together, and they may have approached publishers and not been published, or they may not have the confidence to even promote a publisher. So it's whatever condition that you have. It's whether you're a self-harmer, whether you're body dysmorphic, whether you have anorexia, manic depression, schizophrenia, autism, Asperger's, anything, whatever condition it is, then, really, this is an opportunity for you to just write how you feel. And I'll be giving you positive creative writing prompts. So, for example, I am happy because I'm improving my mental health, because I will live the life I want, because I have supportive friends, because I have a supportive family, because I'm making the world a better place because of this. There's many, many different ways to really make a big difference with your own self. It's all about knowing thyself, writing. That's what I found. And writing is a cathartic process, and publishing is an empowering one. For me personally, writing saved my life. It enabled me to draw a line in the sand where I could really make a big difference to what I thought of myself as a person, and it enabled me to take responsibility for my own life and make a 1 degree shift one day, and then as I look back over a year or 2 or 3, that made a really big difference with my own letting go of my own limiting beliefs. And being published also opened a lot of doors for me as well, because the first time I gave a talk, I became a public speaker. So not only with this seminar will help you with your writing, you'll be helped with your writing to help give you confidence, because when you read a page out, when you've written a page even, I'll encourage you to stand up and read out the page that you've written. And then there'll be other like-minded people, other people who've had mental health experiences, or they'll be there because they may be with it, caring for someone who has a mental health experience. But most people will be service users. We're going to share our experiences, and this is really important, because it will give you significance in the sense that you'll feel good about who you are, and that writing is a way of accepting who you are. And that can be the beginning, or wherever you are on the road to recovery, it can be another step on the road to recovery. And that is really important to remember. So just by the simple experiences in a safe environment, you'll be able to write about your experiences and read them out. If you're too shy to read them out, then I can read them out for you. If you really don't want to read them out, then I can understand that. But usually everyone is pretty comfortable reading them out. And the seminar will be about a personal transformation journey as well, from living with the mindset of a mental illness to realizing that you can really live the life that you've always wanted to. And it's very slow at first, but what we're going to do is we're going to force it a little bit. So that's why at the start of the seminar, for example, at the start of the seminar, I'm going to ask everyone to smile, and force a smile as well. So even if you're watching now, stand up if you're sat at home on your own, like in the middle of the night or whenever it is, wherever you are, and just smile. Go like that. And really force that smile, and you can see that your body language changes, your state changes, and so writing happy things can make you happier. But we're all about being in a positive state as well, in a happy state. So I know that's cheered me up a little bit. So that's what we're there to do. Is a lot of people will bring whatever you want, whatever you've written in your whole life. You can bring a list of it, whatever it is. So you can say, look, I've been writing poetry for 15 years. I've been writing short stories. I've written film scripts. I tried writing comedy, plays. I've started writing this novel. I was writing autobiography, but I found this bit particularly difficult, so I stopped. Whatever your writing experience is, there's time to discuss that as well and share that as well. And I can do that in between when people are writing. So bring a one-page summary, if you can, of the other things that you've written. And you may find that, of course, I've been publishing people with mental illness since April 2002. So I'm very experienced in this now. This is what I've been doing every day. So I can give you real value and really help the situation that you find yourself in as a writer. Because you might find that you've got several different things and you're stuck in a certain way. I can help you give them an idea of how to put that into selected works. And remember, there are outcomes from this seminar as well. So people may want different outcomes. You may want to just feel better, or you may want to be published by me, so my company, Chipmunkapublishing. Now, what I'll do is I'll take you through the process as well of how to be published, what you need. You need a 100-word biography. That's really, really important. I need to understand what your mental health experience, what your mental health condition, or what your mental health contribution is, what you've experienced about mental illness. I need to know, and then once you fit that category, then you can focus on the writing. But there's a lot of strategies and techniques as well that can really help you finish your book quickly. Really simple things like, do you have a title? What is the title? Is it a title that's going to excite you, that's going to make you want to feel like you're going to finish it? Do you write the title at the end of the page? How do you structure a book? Do you write in a stream of consciousness? What's your natural way of writing? Do you find that you plan the book meticulously? Are you finding you're doing too much planning and not enough implementing? Whereas it's really good to just sometimes let the pen flow and see what you can come up with. These are all strategies that we'll be discussing in depth, and I'll be listening to each of you. We'll all go around the table and we'll discuss exactly, I'll ask everyone to introduce themselves and I'll discuss what they want out of the day, what have they written, what are they passionate about writing, do they want to be published by Chipmunkapublishing, or are they already published by us, the mental health publisher, and do they want to take their writing to a new level? Do they find that they can write every now and then they get blocked for a year or two? Is this a confidence thing? Is this a structure thing? Is it a kind of mentality? There's many different ways. I know from writing several books myself that when I wrote A Can of Madness, my memoir, I wrote for 2 weeks in the summer of 1998 originally, and I was so shocked after 2 weeks of what I'd written that I was in shock for 2 years, and I didn't write in anything again because I knew I'd written something that I felt was important, that could help people, and that would essentially change me, my opinion of myself and my view of myself. So that was a really, really rewarding experience. I find myself that I write in a different variety of ways. Sometimes I write stream of consciousness, usually when I'm writing memoirs. Sometimes with poetry I'm quite meticulous the way that I write, especially when I write raps as well. I'm very, very much thinking about the delivery of it and the timing of it and the rhyme of it and the pronunciation as well, and the tonality of it, as well as the language that I use and the audience, of course. And I feel that it's like anything really, that it's worth doing poorly until you can do it well. Zig Ziglar, that quote is. During the day as well, I'll be giving examples of personal development strategies that I've used to help my own health and to help my own methods of working and to improve my company and to improve my life and my fitness, my relationships, my career, my outlook, my soul as well, everything. So it's kind of like a writing personal development workshop for people with mental illness, and I'll be sharing strategies that I've used and demonstrating those and teaching those during the day as well, to really make the most out of the day. I mean, I'll be giving absolutely everything. During the day, so you can get the most out of it. So you can feel like look back in several years' time, you feel that really was the day that I felt more confident as a writer, and I felt that my mental health really did improve that day. For some reason, because I gave so much of myself, and I was just so much very focused on writing happier things, and I think that's really important because life is good and bad. Life isn't a world of happiness all of the time. So, but people with mental health experiences can really get stuck into a negative mindset, and I know that because I felt like that for a long time myself. But fortunately, for a long time now, I've managed to break out of that cycle, and I'm not going back. I'm not going back. There's just no way I'm not going back to that. So I think it's really, really helpful for you to, before you come to the day, think about what you want out of the day, and really be quite specific on that. So do you just want the confidence to finish something so you can approach me and be published? And if you can help me do your mental health at the same time, then that would be great. Do you want to work out which you may already have a lot of writing? You might think, which one can I get out first? And then you can find that once you take action, you actually really take action on that first one, then you might find a conveyor belt of manuscripts that we can publish, and you'll be able to give yourself a voice, and you'll be able to give more people a voice with your condition that you've experienced. And this is really important going forward if you think about the contribution that you can make to other people who suffer from your condition, whether it's anorexia, schizophrenia, bipolar, body dysmorphic, OCD, whatever it is. If you can think you can make a contribution and you can help as many people as you can, then it's gonna make you feel good as well, and it's gonna make the world a better place as well. Can you imagine that we all passed away and that we were up in heaven, and then we met an alien, and the alien said, how's it going? What did you do? Where are you from? You say, oh, I'm from Earth. Okay, that's a great place, great place. What did you do when you were on Earth? Excuse me, what do you mean? Well, what did you do on Earth? What contribution did you make on Earth? How many people's lives did you affect? How much did you contribute to making Earth a better place? What do you want to say? What are you going to say to that person? I think it's really, really important that you can put yourself into a position where at the end of your life, you realise that, imagine meeting the person that you can become at the end of your life, and not the person that you wish you become. So I think that's a really difficult thing to think of sometimes, especially for someone who may be self-manifesting their mental illness, who may have had, a horrific car accident, or someone that they love left them, or there was a tragedy, or they became homeless, or they lost their job, or something, they had abuse, or something really bad happened, or they were assaulted or something. And life is special, and we only have so much time, whatever our beliefs are, whatever religions we believe in, however much we believe in the universe, what we believe in the afterlife. I think it's really important to cherish it and to make the most out of every single moment. So I would urge you, if you're thinking, yeah, I'd like to write, I've always wanted to write, or yeah, I've written something and it was okay, but it didn't make me feel great, but I felt compelled to write it, then I think this is for you. This seminar is for you. And you may have a friend who you think, God, they should write. It would really help them, like I did. Or, just show them this video. Show them the website. Show them our Facebook, our YouTube, our LinkedIn, our Twitter. Get them involved so they can see that there is a mental health writing community out there. And not only that, but there is a mental health publisher that I designed specifically for you, if you're watching this. And I set that up in 2002. It's a long time ago. I set that up because that's what I was passionate about, because writing helped me and publishing took me to the next level. And it's given me so many opportunities. I've been fortunate enough to do interviews on BBC National Television and National Radio over 100 times. I've given interviews all over the world. I've had thousands of people write to me saying that my writing has saved their lives or put their relationships back together. And I've had even more people write to me saying that what Chipmunka does as a company not only stops people feeling alone, and the book Stop People Feeling Alone, but they give something for people to say that they do. Instead of saying I've had a nervous breakdown, you could say I'm a writer. And this is a really important thing to focus on, because people are more interested in you as a person if you can say that you've done something, rather than saying, and it stops you being socially excluded. I think that was a really important thing for me as well. And of course, the great thing is there's a lot of variety in writing as well. You can take the stage. Shakespeare, is a great example of this. You can take the stage and you can write whatever you want. You can get into people's feelings and emotions, and you can really lose yourself and go into a fantasy land. And I know I love writing, and the moments when I'm writing are just so magical, and I'm really in a zone and in a state of flow and at one with myself. And for me, it's really important to be creative whenever I can, and I think that makes a lot of sense with people with mental illness or mental health conditions, as it were, particularly bipolars. But the way I see it is, I used to be a bipolar. I don't want to be defined by my experience. Now I can, and the beauty of the book is you can write however you want. You can write, and it's like you are in charge of your driving your vehicle. You're driving the car, you're in charge of the piloting the airplane, you're flying the spaceship, you're flying the rocket. You know, with writing, you're in control. And this day will bring the best out of you. It'll bring the best potential out of you, and that's why I'm here. And you know, it's really, really important. That's why I don't want there to be too many people, because I want to offer really, really great value and want you to get the most out of it. And I know that the more, and I'm smiling while I'm saying this, because I know that the more passionate you are about writing and the more you really want to make a difference, and you know, the more you want variety in your life, the more you want to grow as a person, the more you want to, you know, make a contribution to the world, the more you can see yourself in the picture of a better future, the more that you'll get out of it. And this is kind of not for the faint-hearted even. You really got to give and push yourself and trust your hand with the pen, or trust your fingers on the keyboard, and trust that you can improve as a writer and you can get better as a writer. And you're lucky, because the person, when I'm there, the person is here, is there. It's my aim to get you to the level where I can publish you. And because I know that if I do publish you, then it can help your mental health, and I know that means that you can help more people with your condition. And there's 1 million people that commit suicide every year. And quite frankly, I want that condition to be zero. I don't see why in 21st century there has to be 1 million people who commit suicides every year. And if we get to a stage where 1 million people can publish themselves, or 1 million people can be published by Chipmunka, then what we've done is we've really changed the mental health history of the world in some little way, because we've got 1 million ambassadors who can go around helping other people with conditions. So it'll get to the point where everyone is diagnosed with a mental illness, and then there'll be no stigma, there'll be no humiliation, and we'll realise that it's just part of life, really, that we all have ups and downs. And you know, we all have ups and downs, and some people may be stronger at others at certain times. But human beings are amazing species. We have an incredible potential to survive and to give. And it's really important, though, that in order to serve others and to lead others, we need to really strengthen ourselves and our own personal development. And I see this ticket to the seminar as if someone has a mental illness and they want to write, there's really a golden ticket, like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. This is your golden ticket. I mean, okay, it's invisible right now, but it's, you know, it's here, it's genuine. What I'm saying is that this is your golden ticket to write and become published, and if you've already been published by us, to take it to a new level. Because if you've been published by Chipmunka already, you might have affected hundreds of people's lives, you might have even affected thousands of people's lives. But how are you going to get to a stage where you've affected tens of thousands of people's lives for the better? And one day, wouldn't you like to look into your future and say, yeah, I'll help millions of people. And in order to help millions of people, then you need to grow as a person yourself, and you need to get your writing, and you need to really make it precise, and you really need to have strategies in place that makes your writing uplifting. So, because you can write about your mental illness, and you can write about how you self-harmed, how you've had bipolar, how things were terrible, and how things may have been interesting or even happy or rewarding at times. But you need to make your writing uplifting as well, so that the person reading it can think, okay, so if it's a bipolar reading it, and then you read another book about someone who's been bipolar and they've been really honest, then that person won't feel alone. And that's a great thing. And then their family members might say, now I understand how my son or daughter feels, living with this condition. I'm going to empathise with them, or I'm going to communicate with them, or I'm going to get better. And, you know, parents might think, you know, now I think my son and daughter, I understand how my son and daughter felt. Kids might think, now I understand how my dad or my mum or my gran felt, or I understand how my grandparents felt, therefore now I understand why my dad or mum was like they were, or why that was a stumbling block for them, or why they didn't want to talk about it. So the more personal you are when you're writing, the more you can get into yourself, the more you can get into your soul, and the more you can feel it, then the more potential you have to make your writing uplifting. You know, I mean, I'll tell you a story. Let me tell you a story from over here, because this is, this might become quite emotional. Okay, so when I was writing The Can of Madness, I heard one of my best friends at the time commit suicide. His name was Tom, and it really had a big impact on me at the time. But it didn't stop my writing. In fact, it made me more determined to finish the book. And I'll tell you why, because I was in such a zone, such a state of flow, and I knew that Tom would want me to finish the book, because I knew he said, I showed him the first draft, he said it was deep. And I thought, I'm going to finish this book so I can dedicate it to you, because, okay, I couldn't stop what happened to Tom, but I'm damn sure that by getting this book out quickly enough, it'll stop it happening to other people. So it acted as a real catalyst, and I think that's like, this is like moments in life. You know, I think moments of life in this. So if it's in your moments of decision, then you find out your true destiny, and this is absolutely vital for you in understanding the value you're going to get out of this seminar. So you can read this now, and you can listen to this, you can watch me now speaking, but this is about what value you're going to get. I'm going to bring you all the last, for well over a decade, I've been discussing, studying relentlessly and addicted to personal development, and I'm going to share with you all the knowledge that I've got from all the greats like Richard Bandler, Paul McKenna, Tony Robbins, Jim Rohn, Brian Tracy, Zig Ziglar, Steve Chandler, just millions of, it seems like millions, but hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people that have given me strength when I had this utopian idea to rid the world of mental illness, which is kind of ridiculous, but at least with making 1 million suicides zero, then that is a realistic goal. And the more people who come forward, the more people who come to these seminars and do this writing, the more chance we've got to go this happens. So you've got to ask yourself, look, what's one day out of my life for a ridiculously low figure, really? How can that impact on my life? How can that make my life better? Give me the strength so I can help more people. How can it give me the strength to improve my writing? After all, it's a mental health writing seminar. And how can it improve my writing? How can it get me to a position that I can be published by Chipmunka? And how can it help me even more so that whilst I may already be published Chipmunka, how can it take me to the next level? So I urge you, when you consider this, that there's just a great opportunity for you to just get massive value out of this event, and I urge you to take it. And there's more videos coming before this day, okay? So there's lots more exciting material to come. So I'm going to leave you there, and this is Jason saying goodbye and mental health writing seminar and recovery. Come on.